Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin. Start taking a look at this, see what's going on with Bitcoin. I think really, oh, by the way, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate that. New subscribers, I do appreciate you too. I see the views and the subscriber count is dropping. Well, not dropping, but I should say it's going way down because Bitcoin's going down. So it's in the doldrums, it's in the depths, and it's going through the bear market blues. Everybody's starting to get depressed. Not all you guys, though. Some of you guys are still motivated about Bitcoin. However, obviously there's some things that have been going on, like I'm getting tired of mentioning the guy's name, so I'll say his initials, SPF, and all the other stuff that's going on. Of course, you want to pay attention to that. You don't want to keep abreast of the news and everything's going on, but I just wish the cryptoverse would stop paying attention to this damn guy. That's serious. Is he going to go to prison? Who knows? Probably not. I don't care. Personally, it's time to move on. Stop giving him FaceTime. Stop talking about the guy. The best thing anybody could do is just pretend like he doesn't exist. That's what should be done. Who cares? This guy, who was the what do you call him? Wonder Boy or the hero? What did he turn out to be? Everybody's be in the crypto. What did he turn out to be in everybody crypto world? Your enemy. That's what he turned out to be, right? That's what he turned out to be. So here's the deal. That's really what it is. He's trying to take it over. There's videos out there you could watch and kind of explain everything, the in depth and all the connections and all this other stuff. So, honestly, guys, I'm glad that it failed. I think it's a good thing. I'm glad that the whole deal, if that was part of the plan, I don't know if this part, if the whole failure part was part of the plan, and or if there was a backup plan or whatever there was. But if the plan was for it to succeed and do what supposedly was going to be happening to bring in all these other things and regulations and all this other stuff, which is probably going to be coming anyhow. If it was a failure, I'm glad that it failed. I'm glad. I'm not. Get rid of him, get it out of there, and it failed. So, anyhow, I'm just going to leave it at that, guys. It's just like, all that matters right now is what Bitcoin is doing. What is Bitcoin doing? Where's it, what's going to be the future going on with Bitcoin? So I want to talk about that, go over the overview of Bitcoin and see what's going on. So we have a change here and just give you guys my thoughts. I'm on the monthly chart on the BLX, or I think it's called, is it BLX, whatever this, Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin, because with Bitcoin, you get all of the chart. If you notice, when you pay attention to Bitcoin on some other analysts and they look at the long-term trend of Bitcoin, they're leaving this section out. And that's a very important part of Bitcoin over here, right? This part over here, you just can't leave stuff out. You got to get everything Bitcoin. You need all your data. You don't have all your data. You got half your data. And then your data will be wrong if you don't have all of your data. So here's the deal with Bitcoin, guys, okay? Give you guys a little overview of this. You can see right here is the highest peak, okay, on the monthly RSI. What does that mean? The highest peak is right there, okay? And then you have divergence right there to right there, okay? So that means it's your fifth of your third, okay? So this whole thing is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This wave right here doesn't look that long compared to this wave, but it actually is a very long wave if you take it off log, okay? So what this means down in the RSI, guys, is that here's a Bitcoin cycle, and it corrected it, okay? But this is lower in the RSI, as you can see. You see how that's lower? So Bitcoin did another cycle and corrected it. And then you have it even lower on here in the monthly RSI, and you can see, where's that peak end? I put it right there. You can see it ended on the basically March of 21. Okay, a peak. So Bitcoin went up onto a cycle and corrected, and it looks like it is correcting it once again. So you have some hidden bullish divergence in this instance, which is this is a good bullish signal on the monthly chart. This would take a long time to play out. That's a good bullish signal for Bitcoin. some point there more than likely will be an end to this, and Bitcoin will eventually be going back up. When that will happen, who knows right now? So everything's looking okay. So let's go down. I'm going to go down to a oh, I wanted to point this out too, that this is the lowest Bitcoin has been on the monthly RSI. It is getting pretty darn deep, guys. This is the monthly RSI. That's extremely deep on a monthly chart. Okay. It's kind of like if you take a look at Facebook and Amazon on the monthly chart. If you go ahead and take a look at the RSI, I'll show you an example of that real quick. Let's go to Facebook. I'll show you something. I have Facebook in here, right here. Just like this. Okay. A lot of people look at this as a negative. That's actually really good for Facebook because it's reset its whole cycle. This whole cycle. Okay. So Facebook is basically starting all over again. Am I saying it's going to just go up from here? I'm not saying that, but getting Facebook here or in this area. Okay. I'm putting this example with Bitcoin, guys, is like buying Facebook over here again. Okay. So you can take a look at Amazon. Just show you that these are pretty much resetting their whole cycle. You can see Amazon's come down here. It looks like it's possibly making bullish divergence on the monthly, and it's way back down over here. So Amazon, am I saying it's done yet? It might not be. Could go a little bit lower. Might not be done, but it's resetting its whole cycle. And more than likely, it's sometime in the future, over the next 6 months or maybe even a year. Who knows when this is going to finally suss itself out and be ready to go in the next bull run. It would be like buying Amazon right here for, oh, I don't know, 40 cents. Okay. Just to give you guys an idea what's actually going on in the markets. Okay. So in my opinion, I think what's going on. So let's go back to BLX. Take a look at this on the monthly once again. You can see here, go off to the monthly, and I'm going to go to a weekly chart on Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin has made some changes, in my opinion, okay? After this thrust down, especially now with Bitcoin in this area, there is a continuation pattern right there. I've showed in previous videos that Bitcoin has at least one more drop down, okay? So here it is on my chart, all right? It went up into this wave on this parallel channel. You can see the tests that it did. Test, right there, middle test, back up. Okay. A test here, back test, went back up and went down to test the bottom of the channel. Test in the middle, back up, thrust over, that'd be a throw over, came back down and tested the top of the channel, and then a test to the middle, break through it, back down to the bottom of the channel, went up and back, and now it's a back test of the bottom of the channel and going down. All right. So not a good signal right now, guys. At the end of the day, that's a very that could be a very bearish signal, and you might even see videos of people putting a trend there and going, look, who knows, some other YouTube channels that are very bearish. That is true, and you cannot ignore that right there. You can't ignore that. However, my argument on that, on the bullish side, if you will, is that if this is a whole reset of a cycle, then Bitcoin is doing something new. Okay. All right. So it's not time. So here's your third, and then you have a fifth wave. You can say that's a fifth wave. That is in my opinion, for Bitcoin, that would be a fifth wave failure. Why? Because Bitcoin is a commodity. Bitcoin is a commodity, and Bitcoin is notorious for doing massive fifth waves. And you see these waves right here? These waves are so massive. I can't underestimate or stress how massive these waves are, even going through here, and you can see a massive fifth wave in Bitcoin's history. So, in my opinion, to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was the end of the fifth wave, is that's very bearish, actually, guys. That's bearish. And to say that it's coming down, it's completed its cycle, and then it's going to start a new cycle. Is that possible? That is possible that it could have done that. Okay. But for a fifth wave to be there like that is something that you want to pay attention to and be aware of and keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. So let you guys know that that is not, that's usually not the behavior of Bitcoin at all to have a wimpy fifth wave like that. Okay. So, what were the options that I was saying that personally I believe that that was the fifth wave of the third wave. It just corrected this leg right here and completed it over here in this area. Same thing with Ethereum, and then it's just correcting this leg over here, and then it was probably going to do another. Probably could have done a massive fifth wave over there, in my opinion. So now we got to take a look at this move that it did, and you can see here on the weekly chart. Okay. Take a look at what's going on. You have a couple options here. You have two options of what Bitcoin is doing. There's two options. There's a 5-wave move that it's doing, or there's a WXY type sequence, either WXYXZ or a WXY, and then another on top of that, WXY. That's really your only two options that's going on here with Bitcoin. Okay. You do have on the weekly, you do have bullish divergence telling you that it's slowing up in momentum, that somewhere in this area, it is trying to slow up and go into a reversal in this area. Okay. You can see in the weekly chart right here, I've gone over these waves in previous videos, that these are 3-wave moves, in my opinion, 3-wave moves. This is A, B, C, went up in this wave, and A, B, C. It's pretty clear on the weekly chart. You can see that. If you want to take a look at those waves, they give off the characteristics, in my opinion, of a 3-wave move, especially this leg. And then this leg too could be open for debate, but I still think that's a 3-wave move. If this is a 3-wave move and that's a 3-wave move, then down here needs to be a 3-wave move. You don't get 3, 3, 5 like that. It doesn't work like that. So in this area, it's a 3-wave move. And then also from this leg to this leg, it gives off the fib targets of a WXY, okay? 1.38 on the nose, okay? The time from this leg to this leg is almost equal. So about 78 days here and about 82 days here. And now you have a leg in here that's getting into like 100 days. So this time over here is becoming a lot longer than this time and this time, okay? So what is it going to be doing over here? Good question, but it's coming down. So the areas I'm looking for, people are talking about it doesn't have any support, and they can say that, but as you can see, if you come over here, you go way over there, it's right on top of this wave right there, guys. But it's in a continuation pattern. It's going to go down more. So the next area that Bitcoin needs to hold is right on top of that wave, which is about 13,800. If Bitcoin is going to be breaching those areas of 13,800 or 900, even with a wick below there, there's definitely a change that will be going on with Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is you have to start going more with the bearishness on Bitcoin, and that this was a fifth wave, and it's correcting this whole cycle right here, okay? I don't like the fact that this is a wimpy fifth wave for Bitcoin, because, like I said, it is not characteristics of Bitcoin, which is a commodity. Why is Bitcoin a commodity? And even I think the SEC's come out and says commodity. There's no head to it. Unlike like you have Ethereum and the other cryptocurrencies, CEO coins is what they're calling them. There's no, unlike those other type of altcoins, there's actually people involved, and it has a leader, kind of like what we've been going through right now with Solana and the FTX situation. You know, they're CEO coins, or what some people calling them now. And those could be, there are actually people that issue the coins or the tokens. So at that point, they could be considered securities. Bitcoin cannot. There's no head of Bitcoin. That's where Bitcoin does have the advantage. So it's a commodity. And if you go take a look at commodities and how they move, they're notorious for making massive fifth waves. It's just in their nature. That's how they work. It's almost to be expected if you go back, like I showed you, what it really likes to do on those fifth waves, those blow off, those massive blow off tops. So that's what I don't like about that. So over here with this area is this next step. that needs to be you want to put on your list of being paying attention to is right there, 13,963. If it breaches that, then you have to reconsider, or at least I will be reconsidering what's going on with Bitcoin. Okay. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Okay. There's obviously the signals in Bitcoin are much more bearish right now than they are bullish. Okay. You can't deny that. If it breaches that. Now, the other thing is too, is all these people, they want to get this cheap Bitcoin. It's down here for $6,000 or $7,000, $8,000. Okay. Which sounds like a really, really nice deal. All right. However, I'm just going to give you guys a word of caution that if Bitcoin's down in this area, you got a little bit different strategy going on with this asset. Now, I'm not saying it can't go back up again and do a moonshot out of there. Could it? It could. It could. When you think about it with an altcoin, some altcoins that go up and they come down into these areas and they go below these areas that were support, and they turn them into resistance. And they don't do so well. They don't do so hot. It takes them a real, real long time to be able to bust through there again, right? And the reason for that is that you have a bunch of people that bought Bitcoin up here, and it's down below this number, this nice round number, 10,000. If you think about it, 10,000, and it's down below there. Start thinking, what are these people up here going to be thinking when Bitcoin's down here, guys? Okay? Let's be reasonable about that. They're not going to be thinking too hot things about Bitcoin, are they? And then you have all these people that maybe bought long-term Bitcoin, and now it's well below its $20,000 peak, and it's over in this area. What do you think they're going to be thinking? So the risk that I'm looking at, if those that are thinking that Bitcoin is going to make a trek down to those areas, is that how long is it going to be down here? Okay. That's the area that's the concern that I would be going on with Bitcoin, guys, that you want to be aware of. So, so what am I saying? If Bitcoin's dipping down here, am I going to be buying the dip? Probably not. Probably not, guys. I would want to see indication of some bullishness going on with Bitcoin down there. Okay. It's going to have a hard time breaking that resistance level, and then the next resistance level, and all those levels again to be able to get out of there. So I would want to see that and keep track of Bitcoin and what it's going to be doing down there. This if it's down here for who knows how long, 6 months, 8 months, or a year or something, that's not a good use of your capital to be in an area down here just to hope like 2 years later that it's going to be doing. And it very well could. This is not the end of Bitcoin, in my opinion. But good use of your capital will not be down here. So that's the issue with that. Like, I think people will be making a mistake to think that if it does go down to those areas, that it's going to just pop right out of there. I think that's going to be a mistake, because I don't think that's going to happen with Bitcoin if it is down in these areas, guys, and just, whizzing right back up out of there. Could it? It could. I want to see the evidence of that before doing something like that. So the good news is that if Bitcoin holds on to 13,900, it has a really good shot of whizzing out of there, in my opinion, and going up on at least to a massive, let's just say that this is a 5-wave move, right? And doing a massive retrace over here, okay? And then coming back down or something like that. Or if it's done and it's going to go back up into, a wave, a bullish sequence in this area, okay? Maintaining that low and then seeing something, and then it can get out of there finally like that. But coming down in these areas, you don't want that. You don't want that. But what I mean is, you don't want that if you want to have good use of your capital going into the future. You don't want to be hanging out down here for a year or two. Let's just say $1,000. You put $1,000 in, you got 1,000, goes up 1,000, 1,000, and then finally you start making your gains like a year or two later. Wouldn't be a good use of capital. Now, that's not to say that there won't be some altcoins where you can do some seriously good trades, long trades, like Chili's. That's the other thing too. I wanted to go over that. In the altcoin market, there are some coins that are out there that are bullish. In my opinion, they're still bullish. You have Quant, you have Matic, you have Chili's, you have coins like that that have been able to pull off bullish sequence in a wave one, right? They've done a wave one and in a wave two, and they're trying to go into a three to finish off their sequence, right? And the wave two is just taking its time. It's in there correcting, and finally getting out of there. So more than likely, in my opinion, there's still a good probability that Bitcoin is going to hang on to this area. Just have to see what it's going to do. Let's go to I actually can't use, I have to go to another chart for that. Let's go to a 2-hour chart, and that Bitcoin in this area is going to have one more wave down, like so. Okay. Best case scenario, 1, 2, and then 3, and then come over for 4, and then back down for a 5. Okay. If not, then possibly it might be a pretty more dramatic wave where it'll be coming down into a C wave. So then I have a whole another 5-wave sequence in a C wave to go back down there, but still maintaining that. Let's see, what was that number that I was looking at right here? 13,860 on this chart. So it'd be like that, something like that. And let's see if it's going to be reasonable on a target. You know, ABCs like to go 1-to-1, especially something like that. So yeah, it does whiz past there and something like that. But it hit 618 or 786 and maintain it. But 1-to-1 is going to go right past it, guys. So there's a couple options that I'm looking at right now with Bitcoin and what's going to be going on with it. And I just really wanted to finish off this sequence and be done with it and go from there. The good news, like I said, is it's making bullish divergence right there. You can see on this wave in the RSI back up and then coming back down, and bullish divergence there. And potentially from this point to this point, there will be bullish divergence, and there can be a swing at least this way. Okay. And then making substantial gains in a lot of other coins. You know, there's the other option too with Bitcoin, guys, going out to a 3-day chart, that it just might be a corrective move up over here. You can, you know, up this way, back down, and it's going to come back down like that. So you want to be aware of that too. All right, guys, that's the end of my video. I know it's long and drawn out and stuff, and I just wanted to go over that, let you guys know what is going on. Look at the 3-day chart here, guys. I was just noticing, look how much divergence is going to be right there. But if you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.